An employee is now in hot water after calling his work to inform his boss that he is at home with a tummy bug. His boss texted him back asking for a proof, whereafter he sent his boss a photo of his tummy. His boss... My apologies. His boss was not happy with the response, insisted on him texting him back with proper proof of his absence from work. He then sent his boss a photo of a poop emoji, explaining that it is his actual problem. His boss was very agitated, insisted on him sending a proper proof for his absence. He then decided to send his boss an actual photo of his toilet business. This employee is now scheduled for a disciplinary hearing.
China's youth is giving up. They've quit their jobs, they've abandoned their families, and they have stopped trying in pretty much every aspect of life. What started out as a gimmicky online fad, Bailan, or Let It Rot, has gained more and more traction with the country's youth and become sort of a peaceful but effective rebellion against the CCP's governance. It has spread so much that it's actually affecting the nation's economy and its future. The CCP is so worried about this that Xi Jinping himself had to come out and call for the help of the country's youth to go back to work.
希望大家牢记党的教诲，立志民族复兴，不负韶华，不负时代，不负人民。在青春的赛道上奋力奔跑，争取跑出你们这一代人的最好成绩。
So in this video, we'll cover how China got here, how did things get so bad that the youth have completely given up on life, and how is this affecting the economy and Xi Jinping's rule?
I basically say no to the system. I will not cooperate. Then I have my own antisocial behavior. Bailan is even worse than Tanping. So that's the reason why Chinese leadership really worry about this trend.
The phrase is really commonly used by me, by my friends, by younger people in China.
As we understand it, it's pretty disastrous in the long term structurally, right? Particularly as China's facing the same kind of demographic challenges.
Unemployment in cities rose to almost 20% in July 2022, the highest since the Chinese government started publishing the figures in 2018. As a result, the country's economy has slowed down and is struggling to boost growth.
Okay, before getting into why Xi Jinping is so worried about this Let It Rot movement, let's start from the beginning. How did we get here, and why are the Chinese youth seemingly giving up on life? I feel like I've shown this chart hundreds of times in my past videos, but here's China's GDP over the last few decades. They've experienced an explosive growth in their economy as China opened up to the world and became the global manufacturing hub. This led to noticeable improvements in people's lives. We can see that if we just look at GDP per capita. Millions of people who were born in underdeveloped villages in rural China were pulled out of poverty and are now living pretty respectable middle-class lives. That's a huge advancement in the span of a few decades. If we look at China's income graph, we can see that in 1990, the average Chinese citizen was making $330 annually. And by 2019, that figure is closer to $10,000. That kind of increase in a nation of 1 billion plus people, well, that's no small feat. The government did have to do a lot of forceful and questionable stuff to achieve this, but I mean, it's still impressive. The main issue here is that there were a lot of questionable policies along the way that the government implemented that are coming back to haunt them now. One of these policies was the one-child policy.
One-child policy was basically exactly what it sounded like, limiting how many children families could have.
In 1979, when it was introduced, China was a poor country facing an exploding population. 400 million births haven't happened because of this policy.
It faced massive famine and housing shortages. Its economy needed time to develop, and the world deeply feared overpopulation. China's response was the famous one-child policy.
Fearing overpopulation, the CCP forced families to have only one kid. Most of us could have guessed, but this led to many problems that we're going to need a whole separate video to cover. But here's a quick summary of what's important for this topic. Because of the CCP's one-child policy, it's expected that soon the country will have more older people than younger workers. Here's China's demographic pyramid in 1980, around the time when the one-child policy went into effect. This is great for any nation. A lot of working adults and kids. Adults are productive members of the economy right now, and kids will be productive members of the society in the coming future. The older population? Well, they already put in their hard work, so now they get to live off the work of the economically productive members of the society. That's why any growing economy usually has a lot of productive members and a smaller number of non-productive members. But due to the one-child policy, China's population wasn't able to replace itself. I mean, think about it. If you need 2 kids just to replace the parents in the future, and maybe a little bit more to make up for any unexpected deaths, that's why the replacement birth rate is around 2.1 kids per family. Coming back to our topic about China's youth, there's a lot of cultural pressure on them as well. Older generations who worked hard and witnessed China's exponential growth now have their expectations set pretty high. They expect their kids to continue the same progress for the family and the country. They expect the current generation of workers to get a higher education, get a high-paying job, and continue building towards a better and better life for their family. And this is not to say that other cultures don't have the same expectations for their kids, but in China, this expectation is a bit unrealistic with the way the CCP is managing the economy. And because of Chinese culture, a lot of adults are expected to take care of their parents, and sometimes even their grandparents too. On top of that, they're expected to constantly succeed in their work life, save up for a house, get married, and keep progressing. This is already too much pressure on a working population that is shrinking in China. But the problems don't stop there.
This video is sponsored by me. We had a real sponsor, but they backed out because they didn't like the topic of the video. So, I'm sponsoring my own video. More details later in the video. For now, please hit that like button.
Youth unemployment stands at 18.4%. Chinese authorities launched a sweeping crackdown on private and online tuition, which wiped out an estimated 3 million jobs.
Around 9 million Chinese students are graduating each year. Those graduating today find themselves going into a tough labour market that doesn't match expectations.
Simultaneous jump since late 2020, China's exports and imports, they've unexpectedly contracted.
Economists estimated that China was losing $45 billion in GDP per month.
Currently, China's youth unemployment rate sits at a jaw-dropping 20%. Nearly 1 in 5 young workers don't have a job. This is in part due to the Bailan movement, but also in part due to there not being enough jobs. In the early 2010s, the CCP made a heavy push to get China's students to pursue higher education, which, sounds like a great thing, and it usually is. The more educated a population becomes, the better it is for the economy. But in China's case, everything didn't really go according to plan. The CCP expected China to be a more mature economy by now, but China's economy is still driven mainly by low-income manufacturing jobs. So when the government pushes students towards higher education, these students expect high-income, high-skilled jobs when they graduate. And now the CCP is realizing that there just aren't enough jobs for all these highly educated graduates. This is creating intense competition between graduates to land what little jobs China's economy does have to offer. In this situation, any competent government would tailor policies to attract foreign companies that need this labor and promote more business activity locally so that graduates can find jobs. So what did the CCP do? Why, the exact opposite, of course.
Alibaba's founder Jack Ma has made a powerful enemy, the Chinese President Xi Jinping. The same day, shares plunged almost 10%.
Xi Jinping is the supreme leader, and Alibaba's Jack Ma learned this the hard way. The $37 billion IPO was cancelled at the 11th hour. Reports say the order came right from the top.
Alibaba was fined a record $2.8 billion for monopolistic conduct.
China has issued regulations for off-campus tutoring services banning private firms from offering after-school training in core school subjects. Well, the move has raised concerns among both parents and private education institutions.
The sudden policy change has led to a tutoring black market, which could benefit wealthy families and price out poorer families.
In an attempt to reel in China's billionaires and send a message to all Chinese elites, Xi Jinping set out to destroy Jack Ma, and the majority of the tech sector, really. With trumped-up regulations and fines, the CCP destroyed hundreds of billions of dollars in value for China's tech companies. And with these companies getting battered from all sides, the job prospects for many graduates disappeared overnight. On top of this, the CCP also banned the whole tutoring industry with a snap of a finger, which was worth close to $100 billion at the time. Tutoring was a common job option for many highly educated graduates that, well, disappeared in an instant because of the CCP's actions. So when you factor all this in, you can see why finding a job is getting harder and harder for China's youth. And the CCP had been of no help. And then COVID hit.
Journalists from Chinese state media arrive in Wuhan to cover a story about a mysterious new virus. The few confirmed cases of the disease are at a seafood market.
Wuhan in China now on lockdown as the country struggles with fear of a pandemic.
Desperate measures to try and contain the deadly coronavirus.
That deadly coronavirus outbreak has authorities taking new, unprecedented, drastic action today as they try to keep a lid on it. 13 cities with a combined population equal.
Everyone, it's Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. How a very small set of people control 8 billion people. This is what I call the elite. Let's say there's about 10,000 of them. How is it these people are able to manipulate the 8 billion people here? If you talk to a lot of naive people, they think, oh, it's the Rothschilds over here, or it's the aliens. They don't understand. It's not any one individual. It's not any one organization. There's something called swarm intelligence. If you watch all those birds flying together, not any one of them is in control. They move together as a unit. They're closely knit. They're quote unquote telepathic, but they move with a singular goal. The goal of the elites here is power, profit, and control. This is the goal. So if we look at it from a control system, what are the inputs they're sending into this system to achieve their goals? And what is the output that they seek? So if you're an elite over here and you're looking at those 8 billion people, how do you know you're achieving your goal? Are people getting fat, meaning unhealthy? Are people getting dumb, which means ignorant? Are people happy, which means are they being entertained? Are people divided? Are they isolated, disconnected? They don't want people here connecting with each other. Are people feeling helpless? Are people looking to the elites to save them? And they like that. They like when people here are looking to them, the enemy here, for their saviors. They really love that. They want people to be disorganized, and they definitely want people to be helpless. This is what they want. If you do not want to unite among people here and find who your own leaders are from below, they are quite happy. They're achieving their goal. Power, profit, and control. Now, how do they do this? You're going to realize it's not any one group. It's an interconnected, tightly knit group. They're all closely interconnected. In fact, they all go to the same restaurants. They have all their kids going to the same equestrian shows. They all shop at the same place. They all go to the same parties. You're not part of that. So who are these people? And what are the institutions of power that they have? Well, first of all, they have academia. Harvard, Oxford, Yale, MIT, IIT in India, the top 100 university presidents. These people are on boards of companies, but it's about 100 people who run the major universities in the world. NGOs, or nonprofits. These are people who run these huge nonprofit organizations like the Clinton Global Initiative, WEF, World Economic Forum, Center for Foreign Relations. And there's many other institutions like these, but it's the CEOs of these institutions. And these guys know each other. They definitely work together. The next thing you have is you have government, U.S. senators, prime ministers of countries, advisors to government, think tanks, the Belfer School at Harvard, the Stanford Internet Observatory. They created the censorship infrastructure. This includes CIA, right? Intelligence organizations. And again, all these people know each other. They're interconnected. They're a swarm. They're tightly knit. They're not divided like these people over here. They're not disconnected. They're highly interconnected. So these people are focused on power. But then you also have a whole nother people, the CEOs of the global 2,000 companies, other big organizations like big pharma companies, Pfizer, big agriculture companies like Syngenta, big investment companies, JP Morgan. You put Deutsche Bank here. You put Epstein down here. Okay, he was involved in all this. You also have the Fed, the central banks. All these people party together. When I say party together, I mean literally they party together, guys. Absolute close-knit friends. And in fact, the CEO of a global 2,000 company will easily move to one of the investment companies down here. If you look at Target, big companies like Anheuser-Busch and Exxon, you'll find that at one point they were in one of these investment companies, and these investment companies sit on the board of these companies, and they shuffle back and forth. So this is all about making money, right? These people are about making the dollar. These people are all about power. This is profit. And then fundamentally, you have control. Hollywood over here. This includes celebrities. You have their agents, Hollywood agents, like Ari Emanuel, as I've talked about, who's a guy who controls most of Hollywood. He controls Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the MMA, etc. The media companies. This includes Disney, Viacom. This includes now Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. These are large media companies. Google, you can put in there also. You also have big news stations, CNN, Fox. And combined with this, now we have another group, social media influencers. This is like Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, these characters who have come in, but they do not exist without support from these guys. If you notice, overnight, a bunch of social media influencers have come out of nowhere. And these people are created by these people. So when you look at this, the academics, the NGOs, the government, the think tanks, the investment companies, the Fed, the big pharma, the CEOs, the Hollywood celebrities, media, social media influencers, and the news companies, and you can even take the top 10 of each one of these, they all know each other, everyone. And in order to manipulate these people, they need front men to manipulate these people with policies. Because what comes out are policies. These are the inputs they put into the system, propaganda. They feed these people purposely, people who they tell them are going to save them, like the Elon Musks or Trump or the Kennedys. Now, who are the people part of the swarm that does that? They have the obvious establishment. And these people are like the Clintons or the McConnells or the Obamas or the Bushes or the Queen of England. Typically people say, oh yeah, those guys are part of the establishment. But one of the things we teach at Truth Freedom Health, the most insidious people are what I call the not so obvious establishment. These are the people that are created to make sure that the 8 billion people look to the elites to save them. Trump, he's got a golden toilet. Mar-a-Lago, Kennedy's, completely bogus family. You can look at historically people like Gandhi or people like MLK. These people all came and were endorsed by the swarm. These people do not exist. They live in Malibu. They live in the places of the elites. And these people are the ones that are used to send the inputs of this controller. In system science, these are the controllers. These are the people controlling the inputs that go in. And remember, their goal is to make sure people are in the state of division, disconnection, and helplessness, particularly. They're observing all this. They have their sensors. And one of the features that they notice is that as long as people are in dysfunction and diseased mentally, physically, emotionally, they're happy. Well, what are those diseases these days? We see obesity. We see endocrine disruption, men with low testosterone, and people questioning their sexuality. We also see people with cancer. The world's population's life expectancy is going down. The United States is going this way. This is from 1980 to 2020. They like this. This is life expectancy. In fact, when they see dysfunction, you know what they do? They put another input in, which is normalize the dysfunction. Eat sugars and high fructose food. Well, over here, people have been literally getting fat. It's led to obesity. Or they've been putting in foods that are affecting people's gut microbiome. This is what I call from policy to biology. People are getting worse and worse. They're actually making more money because the obesity now creates obesity drugs. The endocrine disruptors, let's talk about this. This will really explain what's going on with Bud Light. About 20 years ago, there was research done at the universities that clearly showed the use of restricted use pesticides like atrazine and other chemicals in the atmosphere actually cause endocrine disruption, which could reduce male testosterone, which could also affect mammals where the sex organs can change. And this was done by the work of Tyrone Hayes. So if you're over here at a university and you find out one of your researchers discovered that, and you are playing golf with people over here at Syngenta is the one who produced atrazine, they're going to say, hey man, we don't want this research coming out, because you have to understand something. The investment community here is investing in all of these companies. So if you're one of these large investment companies, you're moving trillions of dollars. $600 trillion, by the way, move through the economy every day. You as one of the elites managers of money, you're moving all this money. You know all of these people. You know the CEO of Target, you know the CEO of Anheuser-Busch, you know the CEO of Pfizer and Syngenta. And imagine that you see, wow, the stuff that we've been creating is causing sexual disruption changes. You're seeing a phenomenon where more and more people are questioning their sexuality. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the general...
China's youth is giving up. They've quit their jobs. They've abandoned...
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
How do you spell cow in 13 letters?
What?
How do you spell cow in 13 letters? See, there's cows.
Yeah, but you can't. It's 3. It's C-O-W.
How do you spell cow in 13 letters? The cows won't answer this for you.
It's 3 letters. C-O-W. What are you talking about?
You give up?
No. Think. No, you're messing with me.
No, how do you spell cow in 13 letters?
It's literally 3 letters.
Oh, the B.
C-O-W.
Ten dźwięk bułatu jest po prostu nieporównywalny z niczym innym. Śpiewa i jeszcze tak długo. Nazwa tego bułatu to bułat krystaliczny. Dlaczego krystaliczny? Właśnie tutaj mam odpowiedź. Jego dźwięk jest krystalicznie czysty. Ten dźwięk bułatu jest po prostu nieporównywalny z niczym innym.
Could find himself snookered here.
Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yeah. I think I will be. I know. I'm playing this, don't worry about that. It's quite a fast table, John. Oh, no, it's down there. Sorry, it's fine.
Oh, Dennis could snooker Steve here.
Another twitch. 7 in it.
Don't go in the middle pocket, Pink. How many cushions?
5 or 6. Pink. Please go in.
We can get this. Come on, you beaut. Yes! Yes!
Wow, what an effort. What an effort.
Nah, don't foul him. It was a good shot.
How close was that?
Was that a miss?
It wasn't even a foul, Steve. Great shot. Was it a miss? Yeah. Yeah, put it back again.
Thank you.
Put it back.
Well, Dennis taking the option of the miss just to see if Steve can get a little bit closer this time with this shot. At least it's going to be a black ball game now, and he may even play the black off 3 cushions again. Just watch the way he plays this black again. Play a similar way, side cushion, top cushion, side cushion, top cushion, left-hand side cushion, pop the black down the cushion.
And so it came to pass that the match ended up on the black. Dennis was the first player to have a shot at the black, weren't you?
Should we...
You potted a great pink, and the black ended up, from our memory, the black ended up there, and the white ball ended up, with good positional play, obviously. About there. And then what did you do?
I come out of my seat.
Yeah, you did.
Well, no, I was out of my seat because I just potted the pink.
Oh, yeah, of course you did.
And I knew I was going to go for the double, and I don't know, to this day, I went over and I kissed that there.
And
I come round and I thought, go for the double. Try a safety shot. You might not get a shot at the black. Have a go at the double. So this is what I played. Oh.
He's done it again.
Now, what happened? The black hit there. Were you at that end of the table?
I don't know where I was. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think so.
I'll leave him to it.
I think so. Yeah.
I missed the black. It hit the jaw of the pocket.
And the white ended up down here. No, I think perhaps it was down at this end.
The other way around. Yeah, there we go.
So you doubled it off of there, it hit that bump, and then went to there, and the white ball went round off 3 cushions and ended up here.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a lucky person he is. in all sorts of trouble. The only thing I could try was the up and down the table, which is really tough, so I sort of held everything together, quite close together. And I played the slow, twitchy, in-the-face shot, and the black, I was very pleased to see, went nowhere along the line it's going now, and it ended up there.
And the white was here.
Yeah, what a shot I played there.
And I was sitting...
No, please.
And I was sitting here.
Yeah, you were.
And I got out of my seat. And I used to say things under my breath, you know, things that people didn't want to hear, really. But it was, he just missed the double kiss by a fraction. And I remember coming to the table, saying to myself, that's the greatest shot I've ever seen under pressure in my life. Or words to that effect. It was more like you jammy gingerhead. And my next shot, I think, confused Steve, because I played the straightforward safety shot. I tried to double the black into this pocket here. And I hit it hard enough. If it didn't go in there, I might fluke it in there.
You see what I was dealing with?
So this is what I played.
So, how many times do you want to win this thing? So, obviously, after missing the double, he was bound to leave me a shot. That's what I had. I tried to play this full in the face to hit this cushion here, and hopefully there, the black down to there. Totally mishit it, and actually hit the black ball to there. So far out, completely gone. But so this was roughly the shot I played. But it didn't hit that cushion, it hit that cushion. Black went to there, black went over there, some sort of double kiss, and it always ended up with a white ball like that. Dennis didn't know exactly, because...
You bet I know where it was.
Could find himself snookered here.
Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yeah. I think I will.
Breathe with me.
Sometimes I like to lie, sometimes I like to lie. I don't know why, I don't know why. Sometimes I like to lie, sometimes I like to lie. Sometimes I like to lie. I don't know Sometimes I say the truth, maybe just because of my youth. Sometimes I like to lie, sometimes I like to lie. And when I'm lying, there's nobody else sighing. When the end is the same as beginning, my name. Sometimes I like to lie.